Welcome to Self-explanatory Audio Video Book from Leader IAS and Yashas Institute, Navi Mumbai. Myself, Professor Suhas, Sargar. Friends, these are the self-explanatory audio video books for the self-study purpose. In this week, we are going to learn and understand State Board of Maharashtra Standard 10th Subject History and Political Science Chapter number 9 Heritage and Management. Heritage Management. So in this topic or in this audio video book, we are going to learn and understand 9.1 Sources of History, their conservation and preservation. Some famous museums, libraries and archives, encyclopedias, etc. The sources of history and all the history books that are able to today are the result of diligent work of several historians. Institutes like libraries, museums, and archives conserve and preserve this precious historical heritage. They choose important specimens from the heritage collection and exhibit them. They also publish research, journals, informative pamphlets, leaflets, posters, etc. The documents and artifacts which are not exhibited but historically very important are stored in the museums and archives after completing necessary treatment for their conservation and preservation. Those documents and the artifacts are made available to researchers as and whenever necessary. The libraries conserve, preserve, and manage the books. 9.1 The sources of history, their conservation and preservation. Each step, like collecting the sources of history, creating their records and indexes, exhibiting manuscript, old books, and artifacts after completing necessary treatments, requires very careful handling and management. It needs people with specific skills. Only trained persons who are duly classified or qualified can take up these tasks. Oral sources of history. Collecting and compiling of the folk songs and folk tales, etc. Classifying, analyzing and interpreting the compiled material. Publishing the result of the respective research. Necessary training, sociology and anthropology, social psychology, mythology and linguistics, library science and information technology, history and historical research method, writing of research reports and articles. Written sources of history. Collection or collecting the coins and copper plates with inscription on them. Documents like official records, personal correspondence and diaries, historical books, old books, manuscript, pictures, photographs, etc. Completing the necessary mechanical and chemical processes of cleaning for the conservation and preservation of the collected document. Ascertaining the historical value of collected document. Exhibiting selected documents. Publishing edited documents and research reports. Necessary training. Knowledge of the script like Brahmi, Odi, Persian and their development. Second, The basic knowledge of social organization and traditions, literature and culture, dynasties, administrative system, etc. of the past societies. Knowledge of various schools and styles of painting and sculptural art and history of their development. Knowledge of type of paper and ink and colors. 5. Knowledge of properties of various stones and metals used for inscriptions. Knowledge of equipment and chemicals used in various processes of cleaning, conservation and preservation. Knowledge of various approaches of managing the exhibitions in museum, galleries and information technology. 8. Writing research reports and articles. Box close. 3. Material sources of history. Collecting artifacts, classifying them according to their historical date and type and preparing indexes. Completing necessary mechanical and chemical processes of cleaning for the conservation and preservation of collected documents. Arranging exhibition of selected artifacts or their replicas. Writing and publishing the research articles about collected artifacts. Classifying fossils of plants and animals and preparing indexes, exhibiting the selected fossils or their replica. Dear listener, these are the self-explanatory audio video books from Leader IAS and Yashas Institute, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Myself, Professor Suhas, Sargar. Necessary training. 1. Basic knowledge of archaeological methods and theory. History of ancient civilization. Knowledge of the regional sources of material like stones, minerals, metals and clay used in the production of artifacts and their chemical properties. 3. Knowledge of equipments and chemicals necessary for the cleaning of the artifact and other chemical processes. 4. Knowledge of various schools and style of arts and their development. Knowledge and skill of making replicas, models of artifacts and fossils. 6. Knowledge of various approaches of managing exhibition in museum, galleries and information technology. Writing research reports and articles. Next topic, 9.2, some famous museums. The museums were created to organize and manage the antiquities collected by members of royal and elite families of medieval Europe. Louvre Museum of France. The Louvre Museum in Paris was established in the 18th century CE. Antiquities collected by members of the royal family were exhibited in the Louvre Museum. It included the much acclaimed painting of Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, the world-renowned artist. He worked under the patronage of Francis I, the King of France, 16th century. The collection in the Louvre Museum increased to a great extent because of the antiquities brought back by Napoleon Bonaparte from his conquest. Presently, the museum contains more than 3,80,000 artifacts. British Museum of England. The British Museum in London was established in the 18th century CE. Sir Hans Sloane, a natural scientist, handed over about the 71,000 objects in his collection to the King of England, George II. It included the several books, pictures, specimens of preserved plants, herbarium, etc. Later, the collection was expanded by addition of various art objects and ancient artifacts collected by the British people from the British colonies. Presently, the museum collection comprises about the 80 lakh objects. See the pictures of British Museum, England. National Museum of Natural History, United States of America. Next topic. This Museum of Natural History, managed by the Smithsonian Institution, was established in the 1846 CE. It houses more than 12 crore 120 million specimens of fossils and remains of plants and animals, minerals, rocks, human fossils, and artifacts. See the picture of National Museums of Natural History. Next topic, museum in India. The first museum in India, quote, Indian Museum, quote close, was established by, quote, Asiatic Society of Bengal, unquote, in Kolkata in 1814 CE. The second museum in India, quote, Government Museum, unquote, was established in Chennai in 1851 CE. The National Museum was established in Delhi in 1949. Presently, there are several museums in various states of India. Usually the big museums have their own archives and libraries. Some museums are affiliated to universities. Such museums also offer courses in museology. Following are some of the well-known institutions and universities which offer degree and diploma courses in museology. 1. National Museum, Delhi. 2. Maharaj Sayajirao University, Vadodara. 3. Kolkata University, Kolkata. 4. Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. 5. Aligarh Museum University, Aligarh. 6. Jivaji University, Gwalior. Next topic, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya. In 1904 CE, some influential residents of Mumbai decided to establish a museum to commemorate the visit of Prince of Wales to India. In the month of November of 1905 CE, the foundation was laid of the museum building. It was decided that the name of the museum would be Prince of Wales, Museum of Western India. It was renamed as the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya in 1998 CE. See the picture of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya. Dear friends, these are the self-explanatory audio-video book from Leader IAS and Yashas Institute, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Myself, Director and Founder, Professor Suhas, Sargar. The building of the museum is built in Indo-Gothic style. It has been given the status of Grade 1 Heritage Building in Mumbai. The museum houses about the 50,000 antiquities divided into 3 categories: arts, archaeology, and natural history. Next topic, 9.3, libraries and archives. Libraries are the storehouses of knowledge and information. Library science is very closely related to the management science, information technology, and the field of education. Libraries perform various tasks like collecting books, arranging them systematically, conservation and preservation of those books, dissemination of information sources, etc. Many of these tasks are completed with the help of the computerized system. To make a book available to a reader as per his requirements is the most important aspect of library management. The Royal Library of Ashurbanipal, 7th century BCE, the Assyrian emperor in Mesopotamia, the library at Takshashila, University 5th century BCE to 5th century CE, and the Library of Alexandria, Egypt in 4th century BCE are supposed to be the earliest libraries in the world. Saraswati Mahal Granthalaya in Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu was built in 16th to 17th century during the times of Nayak dynasty. In 1675 CE, Vyankoji Raje Bhosle conquered Tanjavur and established his independent rule. Vyankoji Raje Bhosle and his successor kept expanding Saraswati Mahal Granthalaya. Sarfozji Raje Bhosle contributed to the most in these expansion. In 1918, the library was renamed as the Tanjavur Maharaj Sarfozji's Saraswati Mahal Library in his honor. There are several noteworthy libraries in India. For instance, National Library Kolkata, Nehru Memorial Museum and Library Delhi, State Central Library Hyderabad, Library of Asiatic Society and David Season Library Mumbai, etc. From the technical point of view, the management of archives is akin to library management. Preserving the documents with the important content in their original condition, preparing indexes and creating accurate systems of retrieval of documents are the important tasks in the management of archives. Documents from the archives are supposed to be very reliable because of heavy dependency on computerized system. Information technology has become an inevitable part of the management of libraries and archives. The first official archives of India, the Imperial Record Department, was established in 1891 CE in Kolkata. It was shifted to Delhi in 1911 CE. In 1998 CE, the then President of India, Honorable K.R. Narayanan, opened the archive for public. It is department under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Culture of Indian government. The documents have been preserved here in a chronological order from 1748. It includes the records in English, Arabic, Hindi, Persian, Sanskrit and Urdu languages. It also includes the records of Modi script. These records are classified in 4 categories: public records, Oriental studies, manuscript and private records. Government of every state in India maintain independent archives. The archives of Maharashtra state government has branches in Mumbai, Pune, Kolhapur, Aurangabad and Nagpur. There are about the 5 crore Modi documents related to the Maratha history in the Pune branch. These documents are referred to as a Peshwa Daftar. Dear listeners, these are the self-explanatory audio video book from Director and Founder of Leader IAS and Yashas Institute, Professor Suhas, Sargar. In next 9.4, Encyclopedias. Encyclopedia is a systematic compilation of information or the knowledge of various topics. The information or the knowledge in encyclopedia is arranged with a specific method. Organizing available knowledge and making it accessible is the main objective of encyclopedias. Next, benefits of encyclopedia. Encyclopedia make a vast volume of knowledge accessible to the readers. It can help in satisfying their curiosity. Encyclopedias provide the fundamental information on any topic in order to understand it properly. Thus, The readers gets motivated to read extensively. Encyclopedias make the existing knowledge easily accessible to scholars and researchers and also highlight the research areas which have not yet received enough attention. Encyclopedias are indicators of the state of cultural ripeness of a society. The intellectual and the cultural needs of society determine what kind of encyclopedia literature would be created. Accuracy, meticulousness, objectivity, standardized format of presentation, and updated information are the criteria for designing a structure of an encyclopedia. In order to incorporate the latest available information, revised edition of encyclopedias or supplements of original editions need to be published. Encyclopedias are arranged either in alphabetical order or according to the order of topics. The type of order is decided by keeping the convenience of readers in mind and the ease of accessibility to the information. An index at the end of encyclopedia is very convenient in this regard. The encyclopedia can be created either by single editor or an editorial committee. The articles in the encyclopedia are written by subject expert. Types of encyclopedia. Encyclopedias can be approximately divided into 4 types. First, dictionaries. Second, comprehensive encyclopedia means Vishwakosh. Third, encyclopedic literature means Kosha Drusha. Kosha Drusha. 4 indexes. Now first, dictionary. Dictionaries are arranged the words in a language in a certain order. In quote, alphabetical order is more common. Quote close. It gives meaning of words, synonyms, and etymology. There are the various types of dictionaries. Comprehensive dictionaries, dictionaries which include only certain type of words, dictionaries of terminology, in bracket, deals with the terms peculiar to branch of knowledge, bracket close. Etymological dictionaries, thesaurus, thesaurus, dictionaries of idioms and proverbs, etc. Comprehensive encyclopedias, that is Vishwakosh. There are the 2 types of Vishwakosh. A. It includes all subjects under the sun. For example, Encyclopedia Britannica, Maharashtriya Jnankosh, Marathi Vishwakosh, etc. B. It includes comprehensive information on one chosen subject. For example, Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh, Vyayam Gyan Kosh, etc. Encyclopedia. Third, encyclopedic literature means Kosha Sadrusha. It is similar to an encyclopedia which comprises scholarly articles providing information on all possible aspects of one or the more predetermined subjects. For example, Maharashtra Jeevan, Volume 1 and 2, Shahar Pune, Volume 1 and 2, Yearbook Manorama, Times of India, etc. 4. Indexes. An index usually occurs at the end of the book. Indexes are the alphabetic list of individual, subject, places, keywords, reference book, etc. For example, the index of Marathi periodicals prepared by S.G. Date Indexes are helpful in finding the required information, and it makes the information in a book easily accessible. Dear listener, these are the self-explanatory audio-video book from director and founder of Leader IAS and Yashas Institute, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra, Professor Suhas Sargar. Next topic, Encyclopedia and History. Encyclopedia and History as academic exercises put stress on objectivity. Encyclopedias published in various countries and in various languages may differ in their approach because of the different priorities. Their structure is influenced by national policies, ethical values, and ideas. Encyclopedias can be a medium of strengthening national identity. For example, Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh, edited by Mahadevashastri Joshi, making knowledge in all spheres of life accessible to everybody, can be one of the major drives behind the creation of encyclopedias. And inspiration to gain and spread the knowledge motivates either individual or a group of the people to create encyclopedias. Hence, encyclopedias are looked upon as outstanding achievement of a society. It is the manifestation of the collective intellect and creativity of a society. In a box, do you know the following are the early encyclopedias? 1. Natural History was the first encyclopedia by Pliny the Elder, in bracket, 1st century AD, bracket close. Second, Encyclopedia. The Encyclopedia by Diderot, the French philosopher of the 18th century CE. Third, Encyclopedia Britannica. This encyclopedia was first published in 1767 CE. This is supposed to be an important milestone in the making of encyclopedia. There is an ancient tradition of dictionaries like Nigantu, Shabdakosh, etc. The encyclopedic work of Mahanubhav sect Rajya Vyavahar Kosh, prepared during the reign of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, are important in the books of medieval period. Box closed. Encyclopedias on a history related subject. There is a rich tradition of creating encyclopedias on history related subjects. Bharatvarshiya Prachin Aitihasik Kosh by Raghunath Bhaskar Godbole in 1876 is the earliest encyclopedia of this kind. It includes the information about the various individuals and places in ancient India. According to the editor, those individuals who live in a Bharatvarsha earn a name for themselves and were part of us, along with their women, their sons, their religions, their lands and capital, also the rivers and monuments in their lands. Whatever their history is given, this encyclopedia. 23 volumes of Maharashtriya Gyan Kosh, edited by Sridhar Venkatesh Ketkar, are available. The major drive of Ketkar in creating it was to facilitate the wider access to knowledge and to expand the intellectual sphere of Marathi-speaking people. His was far-reaching view of history, which is reflected in these volumes. Bharatvarshiya Charitra Kosh is another important encyclopedia. Siddheshwara Shastri Chitra established a committee known as the Bharatiya Chitrakosh Mandal for publishing these encyclopedias. The 3 volumes were published, namely Bharatvarshiya Prachin Chitrakosh in 1932, Bharatvarshiya Madhyayugin Charitrakosh 1937, Bharatvarshiya Arvachin Charitrakosh in 1946. The first volume includes the information on the lives of individuals mentioned in the Vedic literature, including the Shruti, Shruti, Sutras, Vedangas, Upanishads, also Puranas, Jain and Buddhist literature. Similarly, other 2 volumes contain biographies of individuals in the respective periods. In box, do you know some special encyclopedias? First, संगीत शास्त्रकार व कलावंत यांचा इतिहास by लक्ष्मण दत्तात्रय जोशी. Second, क्रांतिकारकांचा चरित्रकोश by S.R. Date. It contains biographies and illustration of about the 250 Indian revolutionaries. Third, स्वातंत्र्य सैनिक चरित्रकोश by N.R. Patak. It contains the biographies of those who suffered corporal punishment, imprisonment, and those who devoted their life for independence and independence. Box closed. Sthalakosh. Geographic information is essential for historical studies. Encyclopedias giving information about historical places are available. Sthanapothi in 14th century CE is an encyclopedic text which is composed by Munivyas of Mahanubhav sect. It describes all those places visited by Chakradhar Swami, the founder of Mahanubhav sect. It gives us an inkling about Maharashtra in those days. It also gives the details about the time, place, and background of the events described in Leela Charitra. Hence, it is very good source of writing about the life of the Chakradhar Swami. Second, Prachin Bharatiya Sthalakosh in 1969. Siddheshwar Shastri Chitra compiled his encyclopedic book. It provides information about various places mentioned in Vedic literature. Kautilya's Arthashastra, Panini's grammar, Valmiki Ramayana, Mahabharata Puranas, medieval Sanskrit literature and Shabdakosh, also in Jain and Buddhist literature, in Greek, Chinese, Persian literature. Vishwakosh, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Honorable Sri Yashwantrao Chavan, initiated the compilation of Marathi Vishwakosh. Through Maharashtra Rajya Sahitya Sanskriti Mandal, with a view to enhance the sphere of Marathi language and literature. The work was started under the guidance of Tarkatirtha Lakshman Shastri Joshi. It contains the knowledge about all possible subjects in the world. It also contains the very important entries about history. Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh. 10 volumes of Bharatiya Sanskriti Kosh were edited and published by Mahadeva Shastri Joshi. These volumes contain information about Indian history, geography, various ethnic and lingual groups, local history of those groups, their festivals, and other cultural aspects. Next topic. Samanya Kosh. There are encyclopedic texts explaining the terminology. For instance, colonialism, globalization, etc. of history. Such texts are very useful for the teachers of history. School, college, and university teachers of history can find ample opportunities in the field of publication of encyclopedias. Encyclopedias of all types require the experts in history. Every subject has a developmental history. Scholars of history can contribute significantly to encyclopedias of various types. After studying these textbooks, you must have noted that the specialization in history, one can get access to several career opportunities in various fields. You can choose your future career with the help of information in this textbook. Dear friends, dear listeners, these are the audio video self-explanatory book for the self-study of a student from Leader IAS and Yashas Institute directors and founder Professor Suhas, Sargar, Navi Mumbai. Thanks for listening.